And welcome back to another redstone tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing again everyone. And welcome back to another redstone tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you something a little bit epic. It took me a while and I wanted to create my own take on this kind of project that Nembum has made since it didn't really work on the server that I was using. So without further ado, I guess I should just show you. I actually made here a natural mob spawner. Mobs spawning platform farm or something. So what it does is it doesn't use any what you call this? It doesn't use any spawners here. It's all natural. And then you have two types of ways to kill it. You can actually kill them using your own sword, or you can just kill them using fire. Sad to say, I haven't found a way to get rid of the spiders properly though. But it works, and the farm here is about it has like 19 platforms with um, with a 20-second clock cycle here. So the loot that I can get here is fairly good. The XP I get here is also kind of good. I always have like a constant stream of mobs here, and so far it has only been running for about a couple of minutes, and you can see how much loot I'm getting. Sometimes there's even witches here, and depending on what you make, there may even be slime. Okay, so my farm here is just basically my own take on Nembom's natural mob farm. It's kind of laggier, but this is just a workaround for the server that I was been to, because the server I was at doesn't allow pistons and dispensers and droppers to work properly. The pistons are kind of okay because they sometimes fire properly, but the um, the dispensers, they don't always fire or take away water, so I didn't like the Nimbom's farm since it didn't quite work in the server I was meant to. So what I did is I kind of changed it up, made my own using waterlogged trapdoors here. It's fairly enclosed. It has a 20-second cycle, 20 seconds to flush, and 20 seconds for cooldown. The cooldown includes also adding water. Now, depending on your area, you can also have a variety of mobs spawn in, as you can see down below. It also makes use of the campfires here, but it depends on you. You can also make it like automated by using lava or using fire, yeah, netherrack and fire. It all depends on the person. Now, I'm not gonna bore you too much. Let's just go straight into building. Okay, so what you need to do is you need a platform. It's a few blocks high. High as in high above the ground, of course. And you need it by 20 by 20. I kind of like mark the sides here with alternating colors. So you have 5 here, 5 there, 5 here, and then 5 again here on all 4 sides. So it's 20 by 20 with a 4 by 4 straight in the middle. And then I have some trapdoors here just so that I can just so that the water can stand on top of it, but mobs won't be able to stand on top of it. And I prefer doing it like that rather than doing it like this and then having blocks over here, because the water would stop over here and then they'll get caught on these trapdoors. So it's better to let the water overflow a little bit, but the trapdoors are going to be a little bit at the back just so that they won't cause harm. So yeah, just so that they'll fall down easier. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna choose a corner. You can choose any corner you like. that corner is probably gonna look ugly in a way, but what can we do? First things first, you're gonna have to you have to cover some blocks here, make it hollow, and I'm just gonna do a time lapse on that. Okay, so the next thing you wanna do, you wanna choose which one will be your corner side. You can't have two trapdoors facing here filled with water because they'll create another water source here in between the two. So you have to do it like this and then give a gap like that. So you can choose any side you like. You can have it like here or you can have it here. This build is probably not going to be very symmetrical, but I'm just going to have it here just to follow the theme of my center over there. Next, you're going to stand over here and then you're going to do the same thing all throughout. Okay, so the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna put a torch there, and then you're gonna put a comparator here because there's like a limit for there's a limit to the power, so you have to like make sure you get it right. These trapdoors have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It has a 15 difference, or a 15 line over here, and torches power from 1 to 15. So you have to make sure that it's fully powered, so you can't really extend this too much. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put a line here. This will just open all the trapdoors, and then from here we're just gonna break this, do that, and then put one there. So this one's responsible for these two corners, and then we're gonna do another one over here. So we're gonna start like this. Okay, our line of 15 right there. Okay, and then our to be power source, which is probably gonna be, just to make it cheaper, I'm just gonna do it like this, and then put a redstone line here, just a little bit cheaper. And then here it's gonna be totally blank. But we should probably put some redstone over here just so it will start turning on. Okay, now that everything's open, this is the right time for you to use your water bucket and just gently, as in really gently, take your time, put water in here. Nimbum actually made, I probably said this at the beginning, Nimbum probably made like a, no, I think I already did made one. Uh, yeah, a mob farm, that's really simple. But I'm trying to make this without the use of dispensers or droppers, because for some reason last time I was on the Electro server, the droppers and the dispensers don't always fire. At the same time, it's kind of like a hassle trying to get bows so you can make dispensers. I'd rather prefer to just waste wood than to try making some than trying to make some bows so they can make dispensers. Well, that's pretty much it for this corner. So this is gonna be like a 2 block tall. So right here, this platform here is already gonna be the next floor. I'm gonna have a time lapse already just so that you can see everything. Okay, so this is gonna be our next floor. I'm just gonna do it like a 3 floor minimum so that you can see everything. Now, same as the first floor, we're gonna start making this here. We're gonna start covering the edges uh, with polish andesite. You can use any block you like, as always. So let's start the time lapse. Okay, so this is actually a mirror from the first floor over here, but there's gonna be a slight difference. Since our redstone will not properly go into it, we're just gonna like try doing something like a workaround. We're gonna do something like this, and I'm gonna put our comparator here. I prefer to use comparators because it's a lot faster compared to just using repeaters, because repeaters have like a delay. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna break this. We're gonna put this here. This should make it so that when you activate this, they both flush at the same time, or rather, they flush at the same time. So yeah, now that they're all open, we're gonna start putting our water and cue the time lapse. Okay, so time lapse is over. We basically have the same setup. The only difference is the activator here. Now, there's a specific reason for it because in order to make sure this one turns off this torch over here, this one has to be like this because in the first floor it was like flat and we can't have it flat here on the second floor because, you know, the block distance. You can actually fix the solution by adding another gap to the entire facility, but I prefer it to be like uh, 2 blocks tall, just so I can save space at the same time. Endermen don't spawn and then ruin the mob count. So yeah, whichever you prefer. Next, let's see. For the corners here, I just wanted to save. As you know, it's like 15 to 1 here. Instead of just using a repeater, which slows down the flush time, I don't like it to slow down. So what I did is I just simply put a torch here and then put a redstone there and then another one here. So whenever this is off, this will get powered. This one turns off, and so on and so forth. Now, these comparators actually get the input from what's behind them and throw it out to what's in front of it. Since redstone torches give off 15, and then so they will also give off 15 the moment this is powered. So this is better than using redstone dust there because it won't breach. And this is actually a lot faster than using a repeater. So I just prefer using these comparators because it's always like faster than a repeater. Next, we're gonna try making one more floor here. So as you know, we're gonna cover this up here. This is gonna be our wall, and then over here on the third block, it's gonna be our another floor. So let's start the time lapse. Okay, so the timeline is over. We had the same setup again, same as the first two floors. We're gonna have like a center here, and then some corners over there that are like this, and then we're just gonna wrap it all around, and then we're gonna start our redstone again. But this time, the redstone we're gonna do this time is gonna be similar to the first floor, which is gonna lie flat here. And to connect these up, we're gonna you see there's a block here already. We're just gonna break this block here, and then put it there. You can also just put it on the other side if you like. Doesn't matter. So since there's a torch behind it, underneath it, this one will try to power this one, turning this torch off, or the other side, turning it off, and then this one will just remain on because this is off. So this is connecting all of our systems, and the only thing we need to do now is just basically copy it. So two repeaters here, just like on the first floor, and one repeater on the other side. 15 redstone dust over here. And then here is gonna be like some kind of workaround. Okay. And then we're gonna start the other side already. You're probably wondering why I don't just wrap it all around like from one side and then end up into the other side. It's because I want it to be timed properly. So if it was wrapped around, this one might fire first, then second this one, and then third, and then fourth. I don't like that. The flush time is gonna be weird, and then some mobs will get stuck. So I wanted to like flush at the same time as much as possible. So what will happen is these two over here is gonna operate at the same time, and then the two at the back is gonna operate next. So it's gonna be closely linked as much as possible, just to make sure that there's gonna be no mobs left behind because the flush, yeah, it's just that it might, they might not be able to flush properly because there's still mobs left behind. So that's something you guys need to take note whenever we do these kinds of system. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so it's right over here. I'm gonna break these, and then we're gonna add a comparator. Okay, and then next we're gonna fill it up with water. Okay, so basically our mob farm is basically done. Mine's gonna be activated by a button here. I'm probably gonna replace that with I'm probably gonna replace this with wood because the tick count is actually a lot longer. So this is basically the main component of the farm, and then you can just come inside and you can see the mobs will spawn in, and then they're just gonna fall down to their dooms depending on what kind of collection system you have. Okay, so let's just cover this up first. Okay, this is basically the summary of the entire farm. You can add more to it. This is just gonna be 3 layers, but you can add more all the way up to the ceiling if you like. These are done without any dispensers, as you know, and the collection system is gonna be like that. That's basically how it's gonna work. And then since this is a farm here, I'm just gonna be creating my own clock system. Okay, sorry. I wanted to look up a few things to see if it still works. And then while I was doing it off camera, I decided to just make this kind of platform here. I didn't completely finish it. So what I did was I added like 4 columns here. There's a platform to stand, a chest here, and I'm gonna get some campfires. You don't necessarily need campfires, but you can have like any type of block you like. You can have like you can even just put like you can even just put like this uh, hoppers and then just put a slab on top of it and then just whack the mobs with the sword. But for me, I just prefer a little bit of auto killing, if you get what I mean. And then campfires make it wonderful to auto kill. Whatever mob that steps on top of it, except for the pigmen or anything that's resistant to fire, will always die. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do it like this. Just gonna face it all in, and then just add some more. That's basically our auto system right there. Okay, so we kind of made our killing system right here. It's fully automatic. It's also you can also mob grind here just to kill them. Now we're gonna try moving on to our a proper clock system so that we can cycle out when it will flush and when we will let zombies or mobs spawn in. Now, before we continue that, there's something I should say. I actually placed some blocks here on both sides because I replaced them with glass so that it won't become like some kind of redstone clock. Because when you have a stone here and then a torch there and a redstone there and then another block here, it will cause it to be like a makeshift redstone clock. We don't want that, so you can just use glass. In my, that's what I'm using right here. You can also use slabs or stairs, as long as it doesn't receive a redstone pulse. That's just one side, but there's another side over here. Same thing, just to prevent it from causing a redstone pulse and creating a makeshift redstone clock. So, without further ado, let's get started on building the clock. So here is our torch tower, redstone torch tower that activates the entire farm. This is where I placed the button previously. Below that, you just have to remove one block, and then from this block over here, you go here, put redstone torch, and then you put torch here. Nice. From below it, you can put like redstone here, and then gonna put clock here. If you're familiar with ethos clock, then this is exactly what we're gonna make. We're gonna make an ethos clock. Okay, and then we're just gonna put this here temporarily. Put the redstone there. I'm gonna put two here. Gonna put comparator here. Put a comparator there, and then temporary block hopper. Okay. Now I'm gonna put a link in the description. It's something like a hopper countdown timer or hopper clock item counter. It tells you how many items you need to have a specific seconds. And the way you want to set this up is for this one, don't mind the bots. It's just because we're currently like yeah, just don't mind the bots. Because I'm in a super flat world, so they're spawning since it's kind of like below. But if it's the overworld, it's probably gonna be a little bit higher. Now I'm gonna get myself a water bucket and a mob. So let's see here. Let's get a zombie spawn egg, and then let's get ourselves a water bucket. I'm gonna do a corner here, and then I'm gonna spawn a zombie. From my estimation, it should take like oops. Forget that. I'm just gonna try turning on the machine first, temporarily. So it's turned on temporarily. I'm just gonna break this. The water should start flowing already. Now, what I wanted to show you is how many seconds it takes for the zombies to fall down. For me, it took like roughly 6 seconds. And if they're trying to go against the wave, I would say you should just make it 8 seconds. And since it's gonna be 8 seconds, that'll be the time it takes to flush them down the drain. But don't forget, there's also time to remove the water, so it's gonna take a long time for it to spawn. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make it like about 15 seconds. So that would mean roughly 19 items, but I'm just gonna make it 20. So this should give me like 20 seconds for the entire machine. Let's just put back the torch here that I broke. And then let's cover, oh yeah, it's already covered. Okay, so the farm will start functioning for 20 seconds. It'll give it like a 20-second to flush, and then 20 seconds of rest time. The rest time also includes the time the water is gonna remove itself. Since mobs won't exactly spawn on the water, they're just gonna spawn on blocks. You need to have that 20-second mark so that you can like make sure the water's all gone and then they have time to properly spawn. Now I made this 3 platforms high. You can increase the number of platforms however you want, as long as you alternate the types of activations here. If it's flat, the next activation should be a block and then side by side, and then flat again. As long as you do that, you can like increase it to however high you want it to be. So that basically wraps up the entire tutorial. If you like it, please leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so that you can have access to more content in future videos. And if you do enjoy what I make and you are willing to support me, please have a look down in the comments, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!